What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'd like to talk about 4 different cryptos that I think have immense potential in the very short term and in the long term. They all have potential in the long term and by the end of the cycle, but these cryptos specifically I think are geared up to see some growth, some exceptional growth over the coming weeks. I think everything's going to be growing over the coming weeks. I think everything's going to be growing over the coming months and going into the end of the cycle, at least anything that's relevant. But these cryptos specifically, while some coins are pumping, some coins are boring, these coins are on a discount, I think, and they have immense potential to grow. So if you're looking for any kind of short-term, low-cap gems or cryptos that can make you some money that you can trade, or maybe you're looking for other things to diversify within your portfolio on. This is the video for you. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about these. So what coins am I talking about? In no specific order of what I think is best to worst, right? And I only own one of these tokens, if I'm not mistaken. I only own one of these tokens. In no specific order, we're going to talk about Home. We're going to talk about Soon Network. Okay, Soon token, Home. We're going to talk about Alice, which is the only one that I own, and then Edge, Definitive Network. Okay, let's start off talking about Soon, and we'll just kind of work our way up the list here. Soon is pretty interesting. It's an interesting project, and again, the purpose of this video is to address topics, coins, projects that I think are going to do well in the short term that have immense potential to see some spectacular, exceptional growth in a very short amount of time. They might even outperform the average altcoin. That's kind of the main reason I'm talking about this. These are like my C-Zar's plays of the week or maybe of the end of the month. That doesn't mean that they're going to outperform everything going into the end of the cycle, and that doesn't mean that they have to move up right after this video either. But again, the purpose is to discuss projects that have potential to make you money in the short term. Okay, the purpose is not to address what these projects do. I highly advise, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I would highly suggest, and this is how I do it personally, is that if you're going to invest in a project, you do your own research. Okay, all right. I'm not doing fundamental analysis. I've done fundamental analysis on every single one of these coins. I'm not going to do it here though, right? That's not the purpose. The purpose is talking price. So we're going to talk price. Let's see here. Looking at Soon, we've seen a massive sell-off, 30% in a day. Crazy, crazy stuff on the 21st of October. No sell-off on the 10th. It was holding up rather well. And we expected this. The last video I made on Soon was actually at the top here, and I was saying, I'm going with my gut here and saying we're probably going to move down. We're probably going to move down, right? Literally telling people, don't buy here, sell the top. I had one guy telling me up here, they're on my last video, there's a guy that literally commented, he's like, this guy's a fraud. Everything he says, do the opposite of. And it's like, dude, if you did the opposite, you bought the top, how's that going? That's not good. I'm out here trying to prevent people from FOMOing the top, even with projects that we've talked about since they were at their low points, right? Like we literally talked about it here, talking about how good of a project it was here as well. Called for this pullback here, called for this pullback here. We haven't been bad with this at all, really. But here we are at 70 cents right now. There is the potential to go lower, and if we do go lower again from a high to a low here, it is possible. You know, you could see 61 to 55 cents. It is very possible that you go down to that area. I want to say it one more time. You're at 70 cents now. It is incredibly possible to go down to 55 to 61 cents. Okay, so watch out for that. But if you do go down there, it's probably going to be very short-lived, right? When you're at the low here, the next day you moved up 11%, right? That was it. That was your chance, and then boom, it's gone, right? Whenever we started to break out here, this thing moves at a very fast pace, you can see here. And I expect overall that Soon, with the low market cap that it has right now, if we go here, you're at a $219 million market cap. I have the belief that you have 5x or more potential in you in a very short amount of time, right? This thing's going to hit $1 billion or more in a very short amount of time. From a high to a low here, you got very close to your golden ratio, consolidating in this area. Back testing your 1272 for resistance, reinforcing the idea that you go down to 61 to 55 cents, something in that zone, but no lower probably. I would expect that we do grow afterwards, and we do see $1.44 to $3. Now this is the price range, okay? I don't make the rules. The 1618 to the 1272 is the primary zone. The 1886 to the 2618, that's the secondary zone. I say I don't make the rules, and that's a bit of a joke to myself because nobody else, I think, in the world calls this the secondary zone. I've named that myself. Nobody calls this the primary zone. I've named that myself. Or maybe other people do, and we think similarly. But that's just kind of how I look at it. If we break above the golden ratio, in other words, I'm saying we have the potential to stop here or anywhere in between. Okay, so we've already hit the golden ratio. Likely when we come back up, we'll break out of that. The next target at a bare minimum is $1.45. So even from this price, let alone from lower prices, okay, that is a 2x. The maximum potential there is about a 4x. And we could, again, we could see a 5x come into play because that put us at about $1 billion. A 4x from here, though, that put us at like 900 million. That put us right below a billion. Maybe we do stop somewhere around here or even a little bit higher. You know, it is possible to go higher. Maybe we do go up to like 380, $4, something like that. But I do think that we're going to see some spectacular growth based off of this chart. Like I think that we're going to go at this same kind of pace here pretty soon. We might move down a little bit lower, but then moving up, right? Soon, by the way, not a financial advisor, has some of the highest APR for staking in the space as well. You can lock it up for a month. You can lock it up for 6 months, get higher APRs for the longer that you lock it up, right? Or APY, actually. But I digress. I think I've spent enough time talking about this. I want to look at the short-term stuff and just see if we are at any kind of local areas to find support. It would make sense that we go lower. I think it would make sense that we go lower. So those are the targets to watch out for. I would very much expect that once we are below 65 cents, we will not be there for long. Okay, I'm just saying that right now. That's soon. Let's talk about home now. Home is the next one. And home, I actually heard Carl from the Moon talking about home recently, which I don't know if you guys know Carl from the Moon. He's one of the larger crypto accounts, one of the OGs in the space. He's been in the space, I think, just as long as I have, since the 2015 cycle there. I'm not 100% sure. But he was talking about home yesterday. He was actually literally talking about home yesterday. We're looking at the RSI here, and things do seem to be scooping up, right? Very oversold for a long time, and now you're coming up, getting some life. MACD's crossing bullish. You had bullish divergence on your MACD as well, and the stochastics are coming up as well. Typically, when you're oversold for this amount of time and you get out of the oversold zone, you don't stop till you get overbought, right? Oversold for a length of time, overbought, and then you got oversold again. Oversold for a length of time, you got overbought, and then you got oversold again, and then overbought. Typically, you range, right? RSI, you can stop at various places along the way and still go down, right? But with the stochastics, you typically range between overbought and oversold and overbought and oversold. Is typically what happens. So looking at this, it's very suggestive that we move higher. The daily bullish divergence on the MACD is also very positive. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the 4-hour time frame. I thought it was the daily time frame. Daily time frame, not really any bullish divergence there, but still at areas where you look to bounce, where you definitely look to bounce. If we look at this chart for what it is, home, another project that we talked about, actually we talked about it way back here. We haven't talked about it in quite some time. I think it was back here that our last video was. It's come down quite a ways. We actually did not expect this to come down. And I think the reason why home has come down so much is that projects like Aster, Lighter, all kinds of different DEXs have come out in this time. And home, the DeFi app, is a DEX, right? It's a DEX that's, I feel like, not really marketed well, but from a low to a high. Carl from the Moon seems to like it, right? And I think that says something. He's one of the bigger figures in the space. From a low to a high, we've pulled all the way down to the golden ratio, found support there, rejected the 382, and now we're down to the 786, 886 area. Typically, in this kind of retracement situation, you would expect to do this exact thing and then find support in this area, of which we're at the base, or the summit of that right now, the top of that area there. So could we move lower? Yes. I think 2 cents would be the lowest that I could expect. 2.2 cents at the least. 2.3 cents now. 2.2 to 2 cents itself is a possibility. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it is a possibility. The 4-hour time frame, again, showing significance that we're probably going to move away from here. It's very possible that this is the low. And when we move higher, I'm anticipating that home does see new all-time highs as well. This is a low cap coin. DeFi, I think the DeFi app is interesting. I do use the DeFi app. I'm not even kidding. I have some open positions on their application right now. 62.8 million. I love how you have real world assets on here too. 62.8 million. Very low market cap. Decent volume. And I think that when Hyperliquid comes back, whenever Hyperliquid starts to grow and there's popularity, I think Home's success is directly based off of Hyperliquid, right? Because their liquidity is tied into Hyperliquid. So I would assume that when Hyperliquid starts to do well, if you're invested in Hyperliquid or you like Hyperliquid, this would be a good adjacent project to invest in, right? It's like if you invest in XRP, you like XLM or HBAR. If you're invested in, and you do that because they're lower market caps, so they have higher potential to grow, right? Higher risk, higher reward. Same thing with Hype and the DeFi app here, Home. Right? If Home starts doing well, DeFi app, Home, or sorry, if Hype does well, this will likely start doing well as well, and it'll probably even outperform. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this thing run to new all-time highs, right? Something at about 6.12 cents to 8 cents in that range, primary. That's the primary target first. And we could see something even past that, down or up to about 10 cents or more, something at about a 4x or more. And again, this is a low market cap coin. It's got $63 million in market cap valuation now. We could see crazy growth. We could see very exceptional growth. Something on the lines of like a 7x, 8x, 10x move. And again, the reason why I'm talking about this is not because it's the best time to buy right now. You need to get in now. Maybe. But because we're at a low point here, just like soon we're at a low point, we're at relatively good areas to start DCAing or buying in, or at least put it on your radar to be aware, because in this area, even if we drop down to 2 cents, soon enough we'll start to rally. And if we rally like we did last time, I really wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw 8 cents and beyond. And it's got such a low market cap. I mean, you really could go all the way up to 26 cents. You're at 2.3 cents now. That's the money zone up there. 22 to 26 cents is a very possible outcome for this thing. And we're talking about it now. I don't expect this video to get a lot of views. You know, I don't make videos like this for the views. I make videos like this just for awareness, and for anybody who's looking to make plays. Maybe you're bored and you're looking for a crypto that I don't normally talk about, or that you don't normally talk about, maybe something you've never heard of. You know, this might be a good play for you. On that note, we're actually going to talk about another one real quick. Maybe I should have included this. Fair, I think, is an interesting project as well. Again, it's on you to do the research, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is built on Base, Fair, and what is it that they're partnered with, or that they're based off of? What is it? Let's see. Not watch this. No, we don't want watch this. We want the website. Where's the website? Here it is. Yes, it's Farcaster. That's who it is, right? And Farcaster is an interesting ecosystem in itself. It's up and coming. This is just such a low market cap coin, man. $3 million. I think this thing has a lot of potential. Right? If you're looking for low cap gems, this is a good one too. I think Home's a good one. I think Soon's a good one. But this one obviously is a lot lower than anything that we've talked about so far. Moving on from Home, talking about Alice now. Alice. This is a gaming project. Again, it's on you to do the fundamental analysis, research it, see if you like it yourself. If you don't like it, that's okay. Coinbase says that it's out. Is Coinbase down right now? Oh my God, is Coinbase down right now? Wow. What hour is it? What hour? Did Coinbase just go down? Dude, Coinbase went down recently. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna see. Hold on, real quick, guys. I know. I'm making a video. Nobody's actually like live watching this, but I'm actually gonna check right now if Coinbase is down. As a part of our scheduled maintenance period, spot trading has been disabled. Huh. The period will last about 4 hours. 4 hours. They've been going through a lot of maintenance recently, haven't they? Kind of interesting. Alice. Anyways, we can't use Coinbase then. That's okay because it's not up to date. Let's use something else here. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm using this one. Wow. We pumped up a good bit earlier and then we dumped down. I wonder if it's because of the maintenance. You know, someone might have been making a play. Anyways, Alice, I think, is at a very opportunistic moment to buy here. If you guys know, and again, I'm not trying to give a fundamental analysis, but if you know, Alice had a lot of tokens unlocking over this period of time, right? There was a lot of tokens that were being unlocked, pushing the price down. The market cap kind of moved sideways while the price moved down. There's no more unlocks. It's fully unlocked, fully allocated. Okay, 33 cents right now. I think that the lack of unlocks are going to help the price grow. And again, you're at a very low point here. So just looking at this and thinking prospectively, I would think that we are due for some kind of, well, breath of life, let's just say, more than what we got on these days here. And again, talking about low cap short-term gains, if you're looking for a short-term play, you know, this thing here has, over the past couple of weeks, it's made some robust movements, man. 124% in a 3-day period there. Here in about a week period, you made a 134% move. And again, the idea here would be if this thing pumps, when it pumps, you probably just get out. Even if it moves higher, bravo, whatever. But I think this is a ticking time bomb. And I really do believe that this thing's going to rip probably all the way up, I would think, to about, let's say, 86 cents to $1, right? Psychological resistance up there. And you have prior support here. So like 86 cents, 90 cents, whatever, to $1. Something in that area makes sense to me. Prior support right there. We take this from a relative high here to a relative low here. And we're not taking the scam wicks. I mean, maybe even a little bit higher. Maybe you do go to like $1.07, $1.10. That is the golden ratio. And we could see this happen like that, guys. Like this could be a week away, 2 weeks away. That's why I've put some money into Alice, is that any day now, any week now. I don't care if it's by the end of November, but we are expecting a big, massive, voluptuous move. And what's nice about it is that because you've been beaten up so much, that once this move comes in, it'll be really easy to sell, because you know that typically it does come back down right afterwards. Typically we do sell off after these big movements, but I would expect that we see something between about 83 cents to $1.07. So again, if you want a short-term play, this one could be a good one. It's one of the lower cap ones that we've talked about here. And then last but certainly not least, Edge, definitive here, has also been on a tear. Edge, would it be Edge D? Edge D, yeah, Edge D for the all-time history. If you're looking at this right, hold on guys, turn that off. Hey, hold on guys. Got the munchkin out here and she's making trouble. She thinks she's being funny. It is kind of funny, but I can't let her know that because then she'll keep doing it, right? So anyways, she's like 3.5 years old. 27 cents right now. 27 cents right now. Let's see, from a low point, would we take this low? I think we would take this low to a high point here. Yeah, you're right there at the 382. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. Why we like definitive, why we like Edge, beyond the fundamentals, which you do the research on and you figure out if you like it yourself for those reasons, right? Whatever that might be. Beyond that, though, the reason why we like it is because of this insane bullish divergence that you've been forming since September, guys. Massive bullish divergence on the MACD here. It's beautiful. On the daily time frame too. If we're looking at this, you got lower lows here, higher lows on the histograms, higher lows on the stochastics, higher lows on the RSI. You've got bullish divergence galore. And yes, you're pumping here. You're seeing these little, like, let's call them test pumps. You come back down, test pump, come back down. We're doing another one here. Soon enough, this thing's going to rip. Out of all of them, and I think we saved the best for last, truly, hit the like button if you're still here, subscribe if you haven't already. But I really do believe that this one is going to see some immense growth in a very short amount of time. I love Soon. I love Home. I think they're going to do great. But the ones, and I'm not that familiar with Fair. I'm very new to my knowledge on Fair, to be completely fair. But it's a low cap coin, and if you're looking to roll the dice, it might be a good one. I'm just saying. But with Edge and Alice, from a fundamental perspective, I'm very, very certain that they're going to see some immense growth in a short amount of time. I truly wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw something on the lines of like what Zora did here, right? I would actually like to say with Edge, with definitive, I would very much like to compare this moment with Zora to this moment here with Edge. Okay, I really do. I think we're going to see something akin to this movement here. And with that, we could see something that takes us up to our 786, 886 zone. From here, that would put definitive all the way up about 150 to a 200% move. And this could happen. It's the 25th of October. This could happen by the end of the month, guys. And certainly sometime over the coming weeks. So I do expect any and all of these cryptos to see some fantastic growth, probably within the next 4 weeks, let's say. Maybe even the next 2 weeks for some of them. But that's really all I have to say. So if you guys liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Just wanted to put these on your radar in case they weren't already. All right, bye-bye.